last night gave us some great NBA basketball. And though there wasn't a ton of games, there was still definitely a few that had implications that we need to talk about. The Memphis Grizzlies beat the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, no, we don't need to talk about that one. The Trailblazers lost to the Timberwolves. Yeah, nobody's surprised. I mean, it's only a 5-point game, but then that's kind of weird. And it did help the T-Wolves get into first in the West again, but yeah, I don't think anybody's surprised. We don't need to talk about that game. Jordan Poole, we might be able to talk about him. Went 8 for 8 with 23 points in the first half, and then still lost by 12 to the Jazz. So, no, we don't need to talk about that. One thing that we could talk about is the Bulls beat the Kings, which is surprising. Yeah, the Kings are currently the 6th seed in the Western Conference, where the Bulls are in the play-in in the East, and we know it's just a mediocre team. Kobe White brought out 37 points and 7 assists, which was crazy. But the Kings really need to get some wins to avoid that play-in tournament at all costs, because right now it's the Mavs, the Suns, the Warriors, and Lakers. All of those teams are playing some decent basketball right now, and all have elite superstars. So I don't want to play them in a one-game series. Who knows what's going to happen? But the games that I actually want to talk about today are the Clippers losing to the Bucks, even though they were leading most of the time. Dame had 40 because there was no Giannis. He had to. There was no way that the Bucks were going to beat the Clippers without some great defense from the role players and without a lot of scoring coming from Damian Lillard. So that's exactly what happened. I mean, this game should not have been blown by the Clippers. And this is a second notable comeback that they've given up. You know, obviously they lost to the Lakers when they had a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter. That's not acceptable. And this, though it wasn't never that bad, it was still pretty bad. Let's look at it. The Clippers were up by 10 after the first, up by 7 at half, and then up by 8 at the third quarter. And though it doesn't sound like a ton, it just felt like it was, watching the game, it felt like it was all Clippers. Like, I honestly turned my Xbox on and started playing some 2K while I was watching this basketball game, and then I looked over and I realized it was a tie game. And then the Bucks went up by 7 in the fourth quarter because they had a 40-point fourth quarter compared to the Clippers 25. And it just went cold. They just went cold. Dame went off, and honestly, hats off to Bobby Portis. Hats off to Pat Bev. They played a great defensive game. They did their thing in the fourth quarter, scoring the ball as well. So it really chipped in and really helped the Bucks pull this one out. Now, does this mean that the Bucks, because again, remind you, they did this without Giannis Antetokounmpo, their best player, arguably. No, definitely. If you don't think Giannis is their best player, then get off my channel. No, I'm just kidding. I love you all. But without their best player, and I mean, the Clippers were missing Russell Westbrook. I got to throw that one out there. No, but I'm serious. The Bucks haven't looked super great since the change from Adrian Griffin to Doc Rivers. Their defense was definitely a lot better, holding the Clippers, who have been a good offensive team, to only 106 points, though the Timberwolves held them to like 89 just the game before. But you get what I'm saying. It was a much better defensive standing than what we're used to from the Bucks this season, and they put it together offensively, especially in the fourth quarter, without Giannis. So yes, I think this team is poised to get back up on their feet and start making a run. Start figuring things out and really get ready for that playoff stretch and maybe go give the Celtics a battle. I don't know. I'm still not confident in that quite yet, but it was good to see the Bucks turn it around. And for the last game of the night, we had the Oklahoma City Thunder, who had just become the number 1 seed the day before after the Timberwolves lost to the Clippers and the Thunder beat Phoenix. They fall by 12 to the Lakers. And 12 was because in garbage time, our bench was a lot better than the Lakers bench. I say ours, yet I'm wearing a Lakers jersey. I just thought it was more fitting for the occasion. But you guys know I'm a Thunder fan. And I like the Lakers themselves, but you know, it's not the Thunder. The Thunder, it was a horrible shooting night. Let's put it that way. J-Dub with only 7 points. Okay. Shea went 5 for 13. I don't know why he didn't put up more shots. He usually does, and he only finished with 20, which is low for him. I mean, he had 7 boards and 4 steals, but, it still wasn't enough. Chet didn't play great. I mean, the whole team, we shot less than 40% from the field. We shot 38% from 3, which isn't horrible, right? That's pretty solid for a team. But 39% from the field is not good. Not going to get it done. Not going to get it done. And it looks great. I mean, the Thunder were off to a great start. They went up 22-4 to start the game. That's a lie. It was not that. It was like 22-12. But it was like 12-14. I don't know. Was it 22-4? They got off to a really hot start, and they blew it before the end of the first quarter was even over. It was a tie ball game at the end of the first, and we were losing by halftime. We had a good run at the beginning of the third quarter, and then after that, it was all Lakers. I mean, in that beginning, when I said it was like 22-4, I think they had 10 turnovers in the first quarter. 10! We should be running away with this ball game. So after what was off to a great scoring start from the Thunder, what was off to a great, amazing defensive start, I thought the Thunder were going to run away with this one. But no. The Lakers come back. They tie it up before the first quarter's even over. D'Lo goes crazy in the second half. You saw those step-back threes. If you haven't watched the highlights, they were crazy. D'Lo led the way with 26 points. Anthony Davis had 24 and a lot of boards because it's the Thunder and they can't rebound. Am I worried about the Thunder because of this loss? No. You got to remember, it was on the second half of a back-to-back. They were just in Phoenix in a tough game where they got bodied by Yusuf Nurkic and still came out on top by 8 just the day before. So, am I worried that we lost to the Lakers? This is I think we're 1-3 against the Lakers so far this season. So, no, not ideal, but I'm not worried about it. Again, we were on a second night of a back-to-back. Those are always tough. We had a horrible shooting night. Those things happen. Those things happen. Okay? I'm not worried about it. Also, Mark Daigneault, he's working with a lot of new lineups. He's trying to fit in a Mike Muscala. He's trying to fit in a Gordon Hayward. He's trying to fit in a Bismack Biyombo. Honestly, I think we should have just left it how it was. I don't think we need those guys. Honestly. I really don't. I haven't seen anything I really cared about from any of them. Maybe Gordon Hayward can turn it up here, but it just hasn't looked good to start their Thunder debuts or their Thunder stints, whatever. And so I'm just not a fan, but they're going to work out those kinks, and we're going to shoot the ball a lot better. And I'm not worried about it one bit. The Lakers, though, it's building momentum. Of course, they had that loss against the Nuggets not too long ago, and Stephen A. Smith this morning, he said he's going to completely dismiss the Lakers. He's not even thinking about the Lakers because they can't beat the Nuggets. And if they can't beat the Nuggets, it doesn't matter, right? Well, that's not always true, because what if they don't even match up with the Nuggets? Okay, that's quite possible, thinking that right now the Lakers would be the 8 seed and the Nuggets would be the 3 seed. So they're not going to match up in the first round or even the second round. Well, no, that would match them up in the second round if they both won. But you get what I'm saying. It's about matchups. I don't think the Thunder match up real well with the Lakers. So if I'm the Thunder and I'm at the 1 or 2 seed by the end of the year, I'm hoping that the Lakers don't come out of the play-in, because that could be trouble for us. I'm serious. But it's a good thing to see. The Lakers are playing really good. I've got a new video coming out real soon talking about the Lakers and why we need to keep an eye on them. And it's because their star players are healthy and their role players are doing their thing. Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura is starting now. Good for him. And then, they don't even have a Gabe Vincent, which they haven't had all year. They haven't had Jared Vanderbilt for a while. If these guys can get healthy by playoffs, man, watch out. Watch out. The Lakers could be legit, man. Could be legit. So, that's my takeaways from last night's games. I think it was a really fun night to watch some basketball. We got some more good games coming tonight. Denver and the Suns going at it. So we'll see how that one goes. Mavs Pacers should be a fun one as well. I can't remember the early game on TNT, but keep an eye out. And what you think about last night's ball? Who you watching tonight? Let me know.